You know, I've tried to avoid drama, as of late anyway. And in my early YouTube career, I was a drama whore. I admit it. I admit that I went looking for that shit. But at a certain point, you realize that this drama shit is just frustrating, and it gives you heartburn, and it makes you anxious, and it just fucks with you. There's no reason to involve yourself in that stupid bullshit. Just relax. Fucking take your shots as they come, and just be like, well, whatever. Just roll with it. But I've found myself embroiled in some drama. And I feel like I should tell the tale. And I'll try to tell the tale without biasing it towards my perspective. I don't want it to be like, and then I was wronged yet again. Because, if there's some drama going down, chances are, both parties, share some fault, or all parties, whatever. And this is probably no different. But I'm going to try to tell the story without embellishing it from my perspective. So a number of months ago, I see this kid on Tumblr. He's going by the name, I think it's either Flaming Atom or Fission Inferno. I don't remember which of the two. He uses both those names. His name's Rick. I start talking to him. We bond a little. And, we strike up a little friendship. And we have similar interests and, all the typical friend bullshit. Anyway, I find out that he wants to be a web designer. He wants to be a web developer. He writes code, and he writes it really well. So, he's trying to start up this company with his friend. I forget the name of the company, but I decided, I'm in the market for a website. I've needed a personal site for quite a while. So I'm gonna throw some work this guy's way, and I do. He designs my website, thatfatatheist.com, and my forums. Well, he didn't really design the forums; it's just a template. But he managed the forums. Forums, or I don't know if it's forums or forum at thatfatatheist.com, and the website looks great, and he's really fucking into the forums. Just a posting fiend, networking with everybody, just doing a terrific job. Like the best forum administrator you've ever fucking seen in your life. If you give a shit about forum administrators. Just perfect job. Because it's his first website project, I get kind of a sweetheart deal. I get him and his partner to do it for me for $600 because it's going to be something for their portfolio, and it's going to be their big exposure. So I keep trying to give Rick the money, and he repeatedly tells me like, I don't even give a fuck about the money. I just like fucking having this forum and being able to do this stuff. But eventually I give him like $150 of it. And I try to, I work out something with, just tell him, tell me when you need some more and we'll fucking arrange for it. And I don't hear anything else. So that's what's going on with the money situation. The next thing, we start work on this other project called notproductive.com, which is going to be a website that showcases, it's basically be something to compete with that guy with the glasses, and I'm working on that, and I'm thinking to myself, well, he did such a good job on That Fat Atheist that I'll let him do the, Not Productive as well. So I get this thing called a Miro community, which is basically it's a they're template sites that automatically pull videos from whatever account you specify, and you can customize them and stuff. And I want him to design this Miro community. And I asked him how much he wants. He's like, he doesn't even want to be paid. He just wants to be involved with the project. Okay. He wants to be involved in the long term and like help with talent and manage people and make new friends and stuff. And that seems like a good motivation. And I'm like, all right, well, hopefully one day we can build this up into something, and then we can put you on a salary or something. If all goes well. Fingers crossed. And he agrees, and he starts work. Or so I think. I repeatedly come to him during the course of the following month and a half, 2 months, asking him, how is things going on that site? And he's like, I really don't have much done yet, a little slow, all this stuff. And he's giving me these excuses, and I'm thinking, something's up, but I still have faith because he designed my other site. Finally, it gets to the point where it's like a day away from the deadline that I gave him. It's the next day, and he comes to me and basically says, I haven't done anything on it. I've just been too depressed. So I'm angry. Who wouldn't be? More important than my anger, though, is, this person has showed themselves to be unreliable. No matter how good he is as an administrator of the forum, he's unreliable. I can't trust him on a professional level. So I take away his administrator status. I keep him on as a moderator because he does do a terrific job managing the community and people love him. But I can't keep him on as an administrator. It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe I shouldn't have taken away his administration powers. Maybe that was petty. I don't think so. I think he showed himself to be professionally unreliable, so I didn't want to work with him on a professional capacity. That was my reasoning. So I took away his administrator status, and there was some anger about it because he's a well-liked guy, but nothing too serious. So the next thing I know, he's coming to me and he's asking me about the money, because obviously we're no longer buddy-buddy at this point. He's pissed that he's no longer an administrator, and he wants the money he didn't care about before. Now he wants it, and that's fine. I predicted this. So I told him, look, give me a few days to think about this. I got a few things I need to go over in my head, and we'll talk about this later. And then I write him, like a week later, I write him this email. It says, okay, I promised to get back to you on this, so I am. The deal is that I feel like it's a bit unfair for me to have to pay for the full price for thatfatatheist.com when you've actually cost me money for not productive. For instance, my 30-day free trial of Miro expired a while ago, and I've been paying $75 a month for that. I have also lost time waiting for you when I should have been searching for another web designer. Those are my concerns, but I'd like to hear your perspective as well. I'm not making a declaration here, just letting you know my feelings. So that's my message to him. And the reaction I'm hoping for is something like, oh, well, I know I cost you a little bit of money there. I guess I can knock something off the price. Because I'm used to him being reasonable. But I guess the second we stopped being friends, reason went out the window. Because his response was, the person I worked with and I had a falling out, and I already gave him his $300 of it. The price is pretty much non-negotiable at this point. I'm sorry that you spent money waiting on me, but $600 was already down from the original asking price that my former friend and I had decided on, and I'm personally already down $150 from what I had to pay him. Now, it's none of my concern what he paid his friend. That's not relevant. This is like someone who goes on Pawn Stars and says, I'm into this car for $30,000. I mean, it doesn't matter. That doesn't affect the value of the car. Just because you spent $30,000 on it doesn't mean it's worth $30,000. And just because Rick gave his friend $150 doesn't mean that I'm somehow responsible for that $150. Now, I do owe him some money at this point. I definitely owe him some money. Because as much as he cost me, he didn't cost me the full $450 that I still owed him. I figure he probably cost me anywhere from maybe, I don't know, $100 to $200. And I was going to sit down and figure it out. And I told him as much. And it went back and forth for a while. And he fucking called me petty, and I called him petty, and there was a bit of an argument. But I told him, let's fucking reason this out. And that was the last thing I said, was basically, I'm going to make these calculations, and I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to figure out how much to knock off this price. Because he basically agreed that, it was fair. I mean, he begrudgingly agreed that it was fair, but he did agree. His exact words were, "Fine, whatever. You still owe me $450, knock whatever you paid Lost on Miro for that. I don't have the mental capacity to argue over petty crap like this." So that was how the kind of conversation ended. I posted one thing after that, just telling him I was gonna do it, and that was, let me just see if I can find this here. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, there's a thread on my That Fat Atheist forums that basically says, because someone didn't realize I was 6'7", they had this thread that said, I didn't realize that TJ was a giant. And Rick, immediately after having this conversation with me, went and changed it to, I never realized TJ was a giant asshole. Now, if Rick had just done this out of the blue one day, I would have thought nothing of it. But to do it right after that argument, that was, it wasn't like you're an asshole. It was like you're a fucking asshole. And, basically one of my moderators altering someone else's thread without their consent to make it insulting and derogatory towards me, he abused his powers as a moderator. I had to strip them. I had no choice at that point. I mean, of course I had a choice. I could have kept him as a moderator, but it would have been a stupid choice. So I took away his moderator abilities, because I didn't know what else he was going to do. I didn't know if he was planning on fucking going and erasing every fucking thread that he found, or fucking putting references to how much I suck everywhere in all kinds of people's posts. I don't know what he's going to do. So I take away his mod status, and I ban him for 7 days. And he decides he doesn't want to be banned for 7 days. He decides instead he's going to start his own forum. And you know what? I think it's a good idea. I really do. So I feature his forum on my Tumblr, and I feature his forum on my forum. I tell people, Rick's got his own forum now. I pretty much say in no uncertain terms that, if you'd rather be in a community run by Rick, because I know he runs a community really well, just go be on his forum, and I didn't say no hard feelings. I mean, there was a little bit of aggression there, because I was pissed off. But I was being a fucking sport about this shit. I was like, yeah, Rick's got his own forum. Everyone who wants to be there instead of here, go ahead. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to fucking be angry or any of that shit. So that's that. And everything seems just peachy fucking keen. I'm thinking this whole ordeal is over and it's all resolved. But I'm wrong. I am dead fucking wrong. Because I come back to my forum the next day, and it's just full of people who are telling me what a piece of shit I am, how I have wronged this poor man Rick, just like, oh, what a fucking, I've ruined my forum, it's just, okay, so I'm dealing with a lot of fucking people that are really pissed off about the Rick thing. I give some people some warnings, if they don't listen to the warnings, I ban them. Because it's my forum, I don't have to listen to a bunch of bullshit. I really don't. Especially when they've got Rick's forum that they can go bitch about me to their heart's content at. And I encourage them. Go fucking talk about this shit over there. I don't mind. It's fine. Go ahead. So, I finally get most of the people who are talking shit either to shut up or I ban them. And I feel like, okay, the problem is contained. I go to lay down, I start drifting into sleep, I get on my phone, and I decide to check the forum one last time, and I notice that my name has been changed to gigantic quivering vagina. As if I'm the one being a pussy about this situation. As if I'm the one that's being butthurt. And I'm thinking this is some crazy Rick fan. Like, this is just some asshole that was modded on my forum by Rick because he was basically running things. And they're pissed off that Rick's gone, so now they're going to take their hostility out on me. And that's my assumption when I see this. And I get my password is changed as well as my username. I have to go and reset the password, and I get back on there, and this person who changed the name is, they unbanned a lot of the people that I'd banned earlier that day, and they made moderators of just random people from the forum, I guess, to confuse me and throw me off their trail. So then I look at the administrative panel to see who made these name changes, and lo and behold, it's Rick. Now, I guess I didn't strip him of his powers properly, and he was still able to access the administrative control panel and get some people banned. And change my username, and change the username of my new moderator that he doesn't like, and block us both out, and then I go to my website, thatfatatheist.com, and it's fucking just this white page, and I can't even reset my password for that. So, basically to recap, Rick, the guy who, at least to my perception, has been in the wrong in about 80% of the time throughout this ordeal. To my perception. Maybe you view him a little bit more generously, but no matter how you view him, even if I was the total bastard the whole way through and I really just fucked Rick and I just shit on his life and I fucking just did wrong by him at every fucking turn, even then, it doesn't warrant him shutting down my fucking website and locking me out of my own forum and unbanning all the people that I banned and turning random people into moderators and changing my name to, the big hilarious vagina or whatever. And so that's the drama. And now I'm kind of in this zone, like, where what do I do for retribution? What do I do for retaliation in this instance? I'm thinking, like, do I file a lawsuit? Do I try to sue him? I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it, but I mean, maybe should I just leave him alone? Should I just take it and just be like, well, he took down my website, but I don't care, I guess. I mean, what do I do? What do you guys think?